Hello and welcome to the channel. My name is Michael and this is my indie publishing adventure. On today's episode we'll be talking about formatting. This is following on from my cover design video. You'll know that by the fact that I'm wearing the same t-shirt as I am in the last one. So I'm filming these back to back, just to try and kind of keep up with how quickly I'm moving through this whole self-publishing process. So I'm going to try something a little bit different. I want to do this live, so the camera will switch in a little moment to just me going through the formatting. And yeah, I'll just walk you through step by step how to kind of format your book ready for ebook and paperback as well. I don't know if hardback's a bit different, but I'm not doing a hardback run, so it won't be on the video. But yeah, hopefully it should be really straightforward and easy to follow along. So without further ado, let's get into it.
Hello, and thank you for joining me. We're going to get straight into this because this is about the 10th time I've recorded this for various reasons. Terrible audio, dogs barking, leaving my phone number in the documents, ridiculous things like that. So we'll fly through this. So we're going to start with the four golden rules when it comes to the kind of text font. So a command key that you're going to want to learn early is Control A, and this will select all of the text in your manuscript. So the first golden rule is you want a neutral text, a nice, easy to read text, so no cursive, nothing too bold, nothing too fancy. This is currently in Times New Roman, which is fine, but I'm not a big fan of it, so I'm going to go Garamond, which I just think is a nice text. Once you've selected your text, the next thing you need to do is, again, Control A, select all the text in your document and put it to a nice small size, somewhere between 10 and 12, depending on the type of book you're putting together. I'm going to go 10. Now, I know this looks ridiculous at the moment, but just bear with me and we'll get there. The third thing you want to be sure of here is the line spacing. Now, this is currently set to 1.15. I think that's fine for line spacing. You might want to up it a little bit to 1.25, anywhere between 1.15 and 1.5 is fine. 1.5, I think, is probably a bit too much. But yeah, I want to keep mine at 1.15. And then the final thing, Control A, again, you're going to want to justify the text. So at the moment, it's like to the right. We want to justify it, and you'll see here, it just takes it right to the edge. And that's how you kind of see it in books and stuff, etc. So they're the kind of most important things with the text side of things. The next thing we want to look at is getting the layout of the book. So this is currently like an A4 layout. We want to get it down to your average book size. So we go to layout, size, more paper sizes. And then a good indie book size for a paperback or ebook or whatever is 5 inches by 8. Now, for some reason, mine's in centimeters. Don't know why that is, but I know what that is. So 12.7 centimeters. That's 5 inches. Don't ask me how I know that. And then for centimeters, we want 20.32. And that's for the whole document. So we click OK. And that takes us to that. And that, you'll see why I wanted the font to be so small at 10, because it just, you get more on the page then. We're not done on layout yet, because now we want to do the margins. So you go to margins, custom margins, and then you want to change it to mirrored margins. And obviously this is now showing you at the bottom here as if it's like a book. And then the changes we want to make here. So we want to go to the outside. We want to change this to 1.52, which is 0.6 inches. If you've got, if it's in inches, and 0.3 centimeters for the gutter, or 0.12 if it's in inches. And what that does, that accounts for the spine of the book. So obviously, if you think of a book, you don't want the words like folding into the spine. So you want to get a little bit more space there and a little bit less space around the edges of the book on the outside. And that's why we mirror it. So we click OK, and that shifts everything over. This looks a little bit weird, but that's just because you have to imagine this Lost Company page is the first page you see when you open the book, then you turn it over, and so that's why the margins are seen to be in the wrong place, but they're not. Okay, and then the final thing we want to do in layout, we can do this later, but we'll just do it now. We go to layout, and then just header and footers, and you just tick both of these boxes. That's different odds and even, and different first page. We'll come back to this later, as it's more for like the paperback stuff. So the layout is done. That's exactly how it should be for the book. The text is all ready to go, but the kind of formatting and making sure everything is where it should be is our next step. So let's just get this back looking kind of normal. Border in the middle, little lines there. Make him bold, couple more lines. Let's make him a bit bigger. Just getting it so it looks a bit more like a book, right? Just so you can start to envision, you know, right. So we've got that. Now, if you go to the home page, you'll see this little button which looks like a Q and a T kind of squished together. This will show all of your formatting marks. So every time you hit enter, every time you hit space, it shows up here. We want to get rid of all this because it just makes it a mess. It makes it a nightmare for Kindle to kind of pick up on where pages should be ending and starting. I recently read an indie book which hadn't been formatted, which probably looked really good on a Word document, but when it had been moved over to Kindle, it hadn't transferred properly, and it was a mess, and I had to stop reading it. And this is probably the reason why, because they missed this step. So what you need to do is at the end of every kind of page where you want it to finish, instead of just putting return space bars or whatever until you get to where you want it to be, you're going to go to insert and hit page break. And that tells the system where the next page is supposed to be. You're going to have to go through your manuscript and do that for every chapter. So I've already started to do it. I'm not going to go through all of them because it'll take too long. I'm going to be here forever. But yeah, you go to the end of every single chapter and put page break in instead of hitting enter, 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 enter. You can see some of the highlights from where my editor was shouting at me. That's fine. That's what they get paid to do. So yeah, once you've put all your page breaks in, and don't miss any, because as I say, it will not transfer over. We're going to go back to the top. And then the next thing we need to do is our headings for each of the chapters. So whether it's just prologue, chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3, whatever, however you start the chapters, whether it's, unexpected party, with the Lord of the Rings. So you go to the home page. It's normally at the top here. Mine's changed for some reason ever since I downloaded Adobe Acrobat, but it's under here, styles, if it's not at the top, and you go to heading 1, and that'll change it like that. Now this is currently in Calibri. We can actually go in, right click on heading 1 and modify, and then change it to the text that we like, so Garamond. And then again, we need to go through and go to every chapter heading, styles, heading 1, every one. Obviously, I'm not going to do them all on here, but that's what we need to do. Now, you might think, oh, is it not, can we not just go in, you know, do it ourselves, make it bigger, put it in the middle like that? No, there's a reason why we do it this way, and I'll show you at the end. So we've got all these bits in. Text done, page layout's done, page breaks are in, all the chapters have been headed for everyone. Now, the next thing we want to think about is, you know, when you open a book and you've got those like little pages, we just want to make some room for them. So we do this with page breaks. So that's our title page. The next page we're going to have, let's have a think, is going to be our copyright page. You always see them in the front of books. You can get templates online for these. I want to do a video on all these like little extra bits like copyright pages, about the author pages dedicated, all these things. I'll do a video talking you through all this, but we need to make space for that, and then we just copy and paste that in. Page break at the end, always page break, always follow the rules. So we make space for that. We go page break again, and we're going to have dedicated to mom and dad. Dedicated page. Of course, we're dedicating our book to someone. We do that like that, and we'll even put it in italics because we love mum and dad. Amazing. What else normally goes in? If you've got a map, you can put your map in here. Let's have a quick look. I'm trying to do these videos quick, and then I'm just pissing about with stuff like this, but okay. It's just so you can kind of visualize it all as it's in. So there we go. Quick map. Not Middle Earth, but you know. And then the last thing I want to show you here is table of contents. So you'll have seen this in the front of books. Chapter 1, page 7 to 10. Chapter 2, page 10 to whatever. Some books don't have these anymore. Like I looked on some of the books on my shelf to see whether I should have one, shouldn't have one. Some of the older books, the Wheel of Times and stuff, they've got them in. Some of the newer books, maybe it's not so much popular anymore. I don't know. But you go to references, table of contents, and then just select one of these. And where you put your heading in, it automatically updates it. Now remember, if you do this absolutely last, because if you make any changes to your document, you have to update the table of contents. You can just do that by clicking on it and then clicking update table, and it'll go back through it. But if you make changes after you put the table of contents in, it doesn't automatically update. You have to manually update it by clicking update table. You don't have to put this in. I opted against it in the end, but you might want to, and I've shown you how to do it. I still think it's good practice to use the headings for each of the chapters, even if you're not doing a table of contents. I still think it's the right thing to do it that way. But there we go. So that is all of the things that you need to do to get it ready for an ebook. This book can now be uploaded to Kindle as it is, and it will be ready to go. It'll look great on the page. There'll be no issues with it. There's a couple of other things that we want to do to get it ready for paperback, and we'll just run through this really quickly. The first one is just at the top, and this is, I would say, probably a preference thing rather than an absolute must. But just popping the name of the book in the top there, just that extra bit of promotion, drilling the name of the book into people's heads, and then again, just your name as well. It sounds ridiculous, I know, but just having your name and the name of the book just at the top. Wow, this is really cool. What's his name again? Oh, of course it is. It doesn't have to be in there. It's a personal preference. I think it looks good in the paperbacks. you don't have to do it. And then the last bit is the page numbers. Now, because we've clicked different odd and even and different first page, we need to go on first to the even page, page number, bottom of page, and then the top on there. And that will do it on all of the even pages. And then we have to do the same on the odd numbers. So go to page 3, bottom of page, top on there, and that'll duplicate it. And now you've got your page numbers on all of your pages. And that's all you need to do for the paperback. Now, just a last point here. When you save it for paperback, you'll need to upload it in a PDF form. So it's really simple. You just go to like file and then there's a save as Adobe PDF there, or if you go save as, and then just drop down on the documents and PDFs on there. That's that. That's how easy it is to format your own book. People are paying over £100 to get this done. Don't get me wrong, the people who format books for you, you might not have a lot of time. You might not be great with computers and feel like you can work through this, but if you've got a tight budget, it does not take that long. It probably takes longer to like get your copyright page ready and you know all these things and think up who you want to dedicate your first book to, that sort of thing, as opposed to it does just going through and formatting it. It's really easy. I hope this is helpful. I hope this is the last time I record this video, and I'll catch you again soon.
And that's that done. So hopefully that was really easy for you to follow. If you've got any questions, remember to just pop them in the comments. You can follow me on X and I'll be able to kind of answer anything on there as well. The next video coming down the track will likely be on ARC, sending out ARC reviews, which is obviously a big part of the process. There's loads of information on there. I've done an absolute ton on it so far. So I'll be happy to kind of keep you up to date on how that's going. But until then, I shall see you next time. Remember to like, subscribe and follow me on X. Oh, and shameless plug, my book, The Lost Company, is available for pre-order now. Links in the description below. Thank you.